Today we're going to learn about the basics of the treble clef versus the bass clef. This is the bass clef. It is used for our lower range instruments, mainly brass, with the occasional low range woodwind. To remember the lines of the bass clef, we can think of the saying, "Grizzly bears don't fly airplanes." So, we go up each line, G, B, D, F, A. Then we can fill in the lines with the saying, "All cows eat grass." A, C, E, G. We can see that each of the scales go up alphabetically, and they go up and down in alphabetical order, making learning the lower and higher ranges a lot easier. This is the treble clef. It is used by our higher range instruments such as woodwinds and mixed with a little bit of our higher range brass such as trumpets. To remember the lines of our treble clef, we can think of the saying, "Elvis's guitar broke down Friday." And we can see that with the E, G, B, D, F. And this saying will remember our lines. To remember the spaces, we can remember the word face. F, A, C, E. We can also see that this scale also goes up alphabetically. And if the bass clef went up high enough or the treble clef went low enough, they would overlap. So E, F, G, B, A, D, C, F, and E. Now let's name each instrument and then figure out which one we would use with the bass clef. So the first one in the top left corner is a trumpet. The one in the left bottom corner is called a bassoon.
I don't know what I did. Oh, it's just frozen.
The one next to that is called a clarinet.
Did you try Task Manager?
And in the upper right, we have a tuba.
Hit circle.
So earlier we said that our bass clef is mostly used with our lower instruments. So which ones do you think are bass clef instruments?
That's weird.
The first bass clef instrument would be our bassoon because it's a lower reed instrument.
I don't know even what I was doing. Oh,
The other one that's a bass clef is our tuba.
I was trying to save this, so like.
Now let's name these instruments. The one in the left-hand corner is a saxophone. The one in the bottom is called a French horn.
Oh, I had my rubber band around. I didn't realize it made.
And the other last one is a flute.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it either. Cool.
So like before, we said our treble clef instruments are usually our higher ranged instruments. So which ones do you think are treble clef instruments?
Screwed up on like a recording because like when you were going through it, I noticed like is there really long?
The first one would be our saxophone.
Said anything?
It's a high woodwind instrument. The other one is our flute.
So I have to
It's
delete
one of the highest ranged woodwinds. The last one is a French horn, which would also be a bass clef because it plays lower range music. So let's remember the main points of our treble clef and our bass clef. Let's think of the lines for our treble clef. We have Elvis's guitar broke down Friday.
Yeah, that's the
And for our spaces, we have face, F, A, C, and E. And our treble clef is for our higher instruments.
wait a second here. Okay, can I quit this?
For our bass clef, it's grizzly bears don't fly airplanes.
How? I don't know how to work these computers.
For the lines and for the spaces, all cows eat grass.
Cool. Alright, thanks.
And these are for our lower range instruments.
Okay, so then next, so you've got it.
So I have
When
to
you're ready to.
And those are the main differences of the treble and the bass clef.
So